Yo, it's Kim, and I have been on the market for a tripod. Recently, one of my jobs required for a top-down shot, and I couldn't get that reliably with my current tripod. Enter my new tripod. Basically, I was just looking for three things in a tripod. One, that it was sturdy. Second, that it could take overhead shots. And thirdly, that it could give me the most flexibility depending on what was on the market. And that landed me onto this tripod. It is called the K&F Concept TM2534T tripod. Rolls off the tongue. Now, K&F actually sounds American. It's not. It's Chinese. I did a bit of digging. It's a company based in Shenzhen. Now, if you don't know anything about Shenzhen, I don't blame you. I didn't know anything about it either until I watched this documentary by Wired. I'll link that below. Basically, Shenzhen's like the Silicon Valley of Asia. Lots of tech companies are there, and there's great stuff coming out of there. As a YouTube tech community, I think we should pay more attention to what happens in Shenzhen, but that's just my 2 cents. Back to the tripod. This tripod sells for about $150 on K&F's website, but I found it cheaper at a local store for only $112. Now, if you know anything about the tripod game, you know that anything under $300 is budget. So this is really a cheap tripod considering how expensive tripods really are. Now, looking at the tripod features, it's relatively light at 1.6 kilos or 3.5 pounds. It folds up to be about 14.7 inches or about 37.5 centimeters, so just over a foot, and it extends up to 72 inches. This tripod also transforms into a monopod. And lastly, it comes with a bag. Now, in terms of features that I really needed out of this tripod, we have the center column, which turns 90 degrees for those overhead shots. Now, something I wasn't expecting, but was pleasantly surprised to find, was that the ball head pans, and it does so smoothly. I can't stress enough how smooth this ball head pans. Now, because the center column turns 90 degrees, you can also use the ball head for tilts. Now, the cherry on top for me was the small aluminum quick release plate. It's small enough for me to be able to change my battery and SD cards with this mounted, and I can even store it in my bag with the quick release plate on. Now, in terms of other tripods that also tilt 90 degrees that I was looking into, there were a couple of them. The first one was the Manfrotto 290 Dual. Now, there's nothing wrong with the Manfrotto tripod. It was selling for $240 though, so that's more than double what I paid with this tripod. The second tripod I was looking into was the Benro Classic 1. Now, they have different versions of these, but the one I was looking into was the one that could extend to about 65 inches. You can still find them on eBay for about $200. But the problem with this one was that it didn't feel as sturdy, and it was still more expensive than my tripod. Now, the dark horse in the competition was the carbon fiber version of this tripod, which sells for $170. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, I didn't feel like I really needed the carbon fiber. I wasn't there to buy the best absolute tripod. I just needed one that could do the job. And between paying $112 and $170, that to me is still quite a big difference. I didn't need it at this time. So who's this tripod for? I think that anybody looking for a solid photography tripod should look into this. I think that anybody looking for a tripod that shoots top-down overhead shots would be well served by looking into this tripod as well. For something that can provide overhead shots, be rugged enough to be my main tripod, yet light enough for travel, and then lastly, the bonus pan and tilt feature. I think it's really hard to beat this tripod at this price point. Combine that with some excellent build quality, this is probably something you'll want to look into if you're looking to upgrade your tripod. Having said all of that, are you going to be better off buying a dedicated video tripod for videos? Yes. Are you going to be better off buying a travel tripod for travel? Yes. And are you going to be better off buying a dedicated main tripod for your studio, for your room? Maybe. But if you wanted to buy a budget tripod that's a jack of all trades with excellent build quality, this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If anything, screw this tripod. I just hope that this video helped you think about how to buy a new tripod and what things to consider. But if you really are looking to buy a new tripod, you should probably check this one out. It's a pretty good bargain. I'll see you next week.